It's good to be back. And what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Grown Up Podcast, where you already know what we do. We talk about that grown up shit. We celebrate independence as far as bringing independent people here onto the podcast. We also have interviews with individuals who are doing their independent thing. And then I sprinkle that independent music at the end, where I highlight one independent artist for the Naturally on a Wave Spotlight segment. And we highlight him for the entire month. Now, with that segment, I'm switching it up a little bit because I have to be adaptable. So before I get the episode started, let me explain that a little bit. So what I need y'all to do for real is to go to the description below, check out the website, please. I would much appreciate that. But from that website, I need you to follow the Instagram podcast. Now, why do I need you to specifically follow that? Is because that is the social media site that I am the most active on. And that is where I will be highlighting and dropping a lot of promotion as far as checking out the artists is on the podcast Instagram, because now that I'm switching to giving you guys one good quality episode a month, that means it reduces the amount of exposure, as far as putting the artist on the podcast. So I've decided to still put their music on to the one episode and highlight them for the month, but I'm also really actively highlighting them and promoting them on the podcast Instagram, as well as the Twitter, and that's pretty much it, and Facebook as well, if you guys are on Facebook. So so go to my website, you guys, check out my links, follow me so you can check out the spotlight artists and check out the highlighting of that artist for the entire month on there. And of course, like I said, you'll still be able to catch the music being put on here at the end of the episode. All right, so let's get into it. So today I want to talk about the importance of being supportive in the small moments, and not just the moments when a person gets to, the point of achieving their dreams, or if they already have achieved a dream and are now pursuing another. I want to talk about the importance of still being able to be a supportive type of person, or have supportive things to be able to show that person in their journey. And the difference can make a huge difference in someone's life by providing the support they need in the moment, rather than what society believes that they need, right? And can help save many people from internal suffering through mental health, which is something that I definitely want to highlight in this episode. And so, speaking of mental health, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. So if you are in need of mental health awareness resources, I'll provide some below for you to check out and reach out if you need those. And so now I want to speak just on being supportive, because later on in this episode, I am introducing the final installment of the Connecting the Past and Present Part 3. And I interviewed an artist who, unfortunately, Kumo D was he had to jump in and go on tour. So I was able to get another artist to finish out the series, and so. But he's not new to the game. He was still very grateful that I was showing support to him by interviewing him. And so I want to, shape this episode around what support should be, and why we should give support, and, the people who are appreciative of it, and show that, through not only talking about it through my experience, but then, letting you guys listen to our interview later on. So let's get into the episode, okay? So, why is support important? And for me, and all these, like I said, every time I'm talking, I'm not like an expert, I'm not therapist, I'm not anything. I'm just a person that's living my life and sharing my experience and my perspective. And so why do I think support is important is because, it could, having support can make a difference in whether someone wants to continue to make like better decisions for themselves, or they start to not believe in themselves as far as like their decisions not coming out the way that they want them to come out. And I say that because for me, allergies, sorry, seasonal, that's that. But anyways, so for me, like when I didn't have as much support, it was really hard for me to make a decision and be okay with the outcome. And I would always beat myself up about it and be like, well, like I'm just a terrible, I'm like a terrible type of person who can't make decisions and make the best ones and like all this stuff. And I was always afraid to make decisions and choices for myself. And so, but then when I started to really connect with all these kinds of different people, and they started, supporting me and supporting the podcast and just being there for me in times when I needed someone to talk to and like all this stuff, it started to help me see that, it's okay to mess up and it's okay to make the best choice for yourself, and not what society sees as, the best or worst decision to make, because everyone's life is different and everyone has different choices and stuff that they have to make for what feels right for themselves. And so, I think that's why support is so important, is because it can really change the trajectory of someone's life. They could go from beating themselves up about every little thing, every little decision that they make, or or they could have support every step of the way in these little moments where it's like you make this choice, it's either good or bad, but you have support there to say, hey, that was a great choice, like, and this is how you could even improve on that choice next time. Or even though it wasn't the best choice or it didn't turn out the way it was, that's okay, and this is where we can go from here. Because I think that is so important, to have someone there who can be able to be there with you and sit there and think that through and be able to get you to understand that. Because I really feel like our situations in our life, they just keep reoccurring until we can understand them fully. And then we start to naturally just flow through these situations without having much trouble. And people look at others like that and they're just like, why doesn't that person ever have any troubles with anything and stuff? It's because they know themselves, and they believe in themselves, and they know that whatever decision that they make is the best one for themselves, and it's going to turn out, however it is. And majority of the time it's turning out the best, because that's the best decision that they believed was for themselves, and look how it turned out for them. And so I just think that support is important in that way. And the next thing I want to hit on is, what does support do for one another? Why does me allowing or creating a type of platform to have other independent people on here to interview and independent artists on here and all the stuff, what does that do for people? Well, as a creative, from a creative perspective, of course, it allows you to collaborate and to help each other, show different audiences to each other's platforms, social platforms, or what have you. Most likely, social platforms. So people get to see a podcast, and for the artists. The artists get to showcase their music on a podcast. And so from a creative perspective in that aspect, but from a person-to-person perspective, it's like, wow, this individual is sitting here finding people and supporting them and just being like, wow, like I'm rooting for you, like complete stranger, I'm rooting for you type of thing, and it's just like, you never know who you'll be able to connect with on a different level as far as reaching out and providing support. And then you guys are now both in a position where you've both found support in some type of aspect. And I've gained so many, friends so far from just supporting artists and putting them on the platform. Some of these people are now like real friends, real people that I check in on, they check in on me. If I post something crazy, they're like, yo, you good? Keep your head up. If they post something crazy, I'm like, yo, you good? Keep your head up. Like, it's good to have that type of support around you, because it really keeps you going, as far as knowing that you're just all of you are just out here making the best decisions for yourself, and we're not alone in our struggles. And so I think that is what support does for us. It lets us know that we're not alone in our struggles, and we can be here for each other. And not only in our struggles, but also in our triumphs and our success and the things that we're doing, like podcasting or doing music or being an author, being a travel agent, being a whatever. We can celebrate and highlight that and support that, but we can also say, hey, I'm here for you outside of that as well. And so the next thing I want to hit on here is where can we find support, right? Where is all these resources and stuff that I'm saying is out here? Well, you got to find them, Google. I try my best to connect with as many individual avenues that I believe are helpful in different groups and different diverse types of people. Like I'm in the radio, I'm in the Cube app, which is for us queer folks, and the LGBTQ community is so amazing, and they're so I went to a conference. I just want to put this in here. I went to a conference, and it was really, really dope, and they were so loving and so compassionate, and it's been a real struggle and a real journey for me in my transition, as far as just understanding myself and understanding who I want to be. And I've been struggling with, trying to find my people, in a sense, and find like where I fit in. And, that was one of the places where I felt like I could fit in. And, and it wasn't just because it was LGBTQ. It was because it was also an array of different people and different individuals who were just happy to soak in another individual's energy and another individual who is going through things, and just being, a person that can be there for another person, and it was just a safe space to just be who we were. And shout out to y'all, shout out to my people, shout out to E3 Radio and the Cube app. Please go and check them out. They are also on my website. You guys go check them out. And so, like I said, like I'm trying to reach out and be in different areas and touch different things and be connected with many different things, because that's just who I am. I'm many different things, and I want people to know that I'm many different things. I'm not just one thing, but above all, I'm a person. I'm a person who wants to support other people. And so, and another endeavor that I'm in is I'm trying to get into the TV and broadcasting lane. Shout out to my big bro, bad boy Billy Sly. He's allowing me to get in on a dope opportunity that he's presenting. And that's also up on the website. You guys go check that out. Shameless plug. But, it's just, finding support is, it's not hard, but it is at the same time. It's hard in the aspect of, like I said, reaching out and connecting to an individual. Like as I'm growing in my transition, it's harder and harder for me to talk to people and to reach out, because I just sometimes don't feel as confident in myself. And but then I just muster up and I do it, and then the situation doesn't turn out as bad as I'm dreading it. And then it turns out better than I thought, and I'm just like, okay, I just have to take a deep breath and go and be myself. And when I'm myself, it's just the same as before my transition. And so that's another thing to connect with myself. But being able to have support in that, and I've been able to find the people to connect with, and I believe that you can do that as well, locally, or if you want to Google things, or like I said, I try and find as many resources and things that I can to provide to you guys here on the podcast. As far as supporting, I tailor make my stuff to more like supporting in the individual lane, but as far as just like what I'm talking about, like supporting in the small aspects, I really encourage to just reach out to people. I know there's so much bad on the internet, but there's also so much good, and there's so many good people that are on social media that you never know, they'll just message you back and you just have a connection. Now, I'm not saying that just be out here messaging all kinds of people and that you don't trust and like all this stuff. Like, there's definitely people out here that are not good people, that are just, they're just fucked up people, and they're just out here looking to catfish people and do horrible things to people and shit like that. So definitely be careful when you're connecting with people and reaching out and stuff. Definitely take your precautions, but it's good to know that there's people in many different places that are going through the same thing as you, and you guys can be able to talk about that and discuss that, and just have a space where you can go to and just say things. And so that's where I say you can find support, is by being yourself and reaching out and trying to look for the connections and the support that feels best for you. If it doesn't feel good for you, if it doesn't feel great for you to seek support in a certain type of group or a person or thing or whatever, then simply don't do it. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, or anything that doesn't feel right for you or feel good for you. I'm all in the spirit of, I'm very spiritual person, so I'm like, do really like literally what feels like energetic wise, what feels best for you. Some people say gut feeling, some people say conscience, whatever, but literally listen to that voice in your head or whatever, like that's telling you this is the right thing. And everything is going to work out, as far as you'll find the support that is, the support will come to you, and after that, and all those things, as long as you're doing what's best for you. And so my final thing that I want to leave for you guys today before we head into this interview and drop that naturally on a wave spotlight artist music is how can we learn to understand what kind of support is needed on an individualistic basis? And so for me, from my perspective, I've learned to try to understand individuals through just having a conversation and really, it's hard to explain because until, we're all starting to understand the inner workings that has to be done with ourselves in order to be able to mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically withstand, seeing people for individuals and not as groups of people. It's hard for me as a person who is starting to understand that to explain, because the only thing that I can say is that as you're listening to this person, it's almost like you are stepping into their eyes and seeing from their eyes. Like I said, it's hard to understand because right now I'm doing a lot of inner work and not just sitting. I'm very busy. Don't get me wrong. I'm an extremely busy person. I am constantly on the go. I'm always super tired. But, excuse me, what I am doing consciously and very on a consistent basis now is that in situations where I can feel myself starting to literally, my insides start to feel a certain kind of way, I start to look and think about the other person and think from their eyes, why would they do this? Or they're doing this because what? And, being able to see what they see allows me to provide support for people, on a small level. And it's so interesting because I work at an emergency room, as you guys know, as security, and some people come in there and they're they're going through their stuff, and depending on what time of the day that they're coming, it's either full or there's not a lot of people in there, so they could be happy or they could be coming in with whatever they're coming in for. So regardless, their mood is very iffy as far as each individual person that comes in. And so some people come in blatantly rude. Some people come in and they're rude initially, but then it's because they're panicked because they're at the hospital and so really trying to be able to understand each individual person when they come into the emergency room for me in order to be able to provide the help that they need and support that they need throughout their visit, because being able to support them allows me to do my job easier, because then I don't have to be babysitting a grown person essentially and having to call the police on them and do all that stuff, because I don't want to have to do all that, because I know people are already going through what they're going through, and so having to go through all of this because of a moment in time that could be over very soon. If you just allow me to help you provide that support, then your experience would be just fine. So, but that's just for me how I'm able to see people and understand how to provide support on an individualistic basis. And so I just encourage people, because this is Mental Health Awareness Month, to just figure out ways that we can help and provide support for people on a smaller scale, because people who, when they reach the top or reach wherever success and goal that they want to reach, it gets really hard because you have a lot of stress now. You have so much stress on your shoulders to maintain and keep that, and you need people and support around you to be able to encourage you and tell you to sit down and tell you to relax, or tell you to go harder, or whatever. But all of that is support. And so I try my best here on the podcast to just give as much support as I can for individuals. And if you guys want other types of support here on the podcast, email me and let me know, and I will do my best to try and figure that out and incorporate it into the episodes. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning into the podcast and sticking around and showing support for me. And you guys have been sharing my post and stuff, those who are already following me on Instagram and Twitter. And so I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And yeah, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to get into the next segment of the podcast, which is this really dope interview that I was able to secure and provide support to an artist who was very appreciative of me being able to interview him. And we talked about, music he's got going on and stuff like that. He's just a really dope dude. So I'm happy for you guys to be listening to this interview. And then y'all already know at the end, we're going to have that Naturally on a Wave Spotlight Artist music for this month. And yeah, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for the end of the month, because our interview will be dropping as well. Okay. So anyways, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back, and we're going to get into that interview. All right, let's get it. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Grown Up Podcast, where we talk about grown up shit, celebrate independence, and we have some dope guests come through from time to time, which leads me to my guest for today, who is stopping by on tour right now. So I'm happy he made some time for me. Let's welcome K Davis, the Hitman. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up? What's going on, y'all? Yeah.
Yeah, nice to have you. Appreciate you for coming through. So I just got a couple questions. So let's get right into it. So what is it like being a part of the underground hip hop community? And if you can, in a nutshell, explain for the people what exactly is underground hip hop.
Underground hip hop is the uncensored hip hop, the hip hop that don't usually get played on mainstream. It's the hip hop that the streets know, the streets, right, and the people, the majority of the people, the projects, the neighborhood, they listen to that, on in their own time. Radio won't dare play that. It's a beautiful thing. It allows us to be ourselves more than average,
100%. I feel that. So you're on tour right now. So tell us what your tour is for, and what it means to be an artist touring, and what touring means for an artist.
Well, the tour right now is promotional tour. It's we got a record called Travel the World, brand new release on Tina Brown Entertainment, Capital Music Group, featuring my homeboy T Marvin of the Persuaders. Touring is important because it showcases the new material, the artists, and what's going on. And it's draining, very draining.
Yeah.
And you have to be physically fit. You have to have your routine together, because anything go wrong at any time,
100%. Yeah. So since you said that, you want to let us know what your routine is like for a little bit, kind of squeeze that in there?
My routine basically is entertainment. Like if you've seen the James Brown, Phyllis Hyman, the Dougie Freshes, the MC Hammers, but picture a guy from the street entertaining you. It's like you seeing like garbage to that Debo entertaining you. Like, Debo can move his shoulders like that, and Oh my, kind of sexy what he doing, but he's still that looking dude. So that's right. You know, it sends you home with a sense of knowing, like, damn, I enjoyed myself tonight. Ooh, I enjoyed myself. Get one of those.
Right. Yeah. That's right. So you mentioned Dougie Fresh. So Dougie Fresh is actually your uncle / mentor. So what was it like having Dougie Fresh as your uncle and mentor?
Man, it was a blessing. Number one, I thank God for making him, and thank God for my father, you know, being his brother. Right. It was just a lot of practice, routining, learning. You're gonna be a student until I tell you that you're ready. Because if you put a cake in the oven, you put the fork in there, it might look done, but it's not fully done. It might be soggy, it might be overcooked. So Doug made sure that we were just right. Yeah. And we would be established as that artist that we supposed to become.
Most definitely.
How to be an entertainer from our business, make a record, arrange a record. And I also learned the main thing about it is to make people dance.
Yeah.
Dance, got them.
Definitely. All right. So what advice do you have for people on staying consistent and being true to themselves? As I can see right now, you staying true to yourself through and through.
See where I'm at. I'm the bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you stay consistent, then people will notice you. If you be true to yourself, you don't got to lie to yourself. You know, like you in the mirror, you look in the mirror. Why would you lie to him when that's you?
Yeah.
Be original. The most powerfulest thing in this world is originality. Something that people have never heard or seen before. If you sound like a person, you're going to die with that wave. But if you yourself, the record will last forever. Like James Brown, you always going to love James Brown because he actually said nothing on his records. But you felt the end. You ain't know saying, but he danced and made you feel like, yo, this is the guy.
That's right.
Sound. So please stay true to yourself and be yourself, man. Don't be. If you ain't a gangster, don't be that. You know,
definitely. Definitely, 100%. So before we get out of here, I definitely want you to tell the people where they can find you. I know you got a website. I know you all on social media and stuff. So let the people know where they can find you. And if you want to shout some people out, leave any gems for the peoples, you know what I'm saying? Up yourself, you know, promote yourself.
I want to shout you out, Derek. You are the man for the night. That's right. You put this thing together real pleasant. I feel good about it. And think up you, man, for keeping this platform for us to come live on, man, and survive. Yeah. You can find me on social media. Instagram is K_Davis_the_hitman. Facebook is Manson Bates, you know, my old tag name. TikTok is K Davis the Hitman, and my website is www.kdavisthehitman.com. Everything is Hitman.
Yes. And you already know all those links will be in the description where you can find them. Click them right away and go check out K Davis the Hitman, y'all. We had him on here. He's staying relevant. He's out here. He's touring. Go check him out. Go check out the website. I appreciate you for stopping by. Thank you so much. Most definitely.
Tina Brown, Bobby Brown's sister, for being my manager right now. I want to big up the whole Brown family. I want to big up my Uncle Doug Fresh, my pops, rest in peace to my grandmothers. I want to big up Capital Music Group, and I want to thank God for allowing us to wake up and breathe another day.
Yes.
They bless the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. That part. And we're going to end it and wrap it right there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Y'all make sure y'all stay safe and be kind out there. We gone.
Peace.
Welcome to the end of this episode. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much. I appreciate you for tuning in to today's Grown Up Podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed the interview, and I hope you're going to enjoy this Naturally on a Wave Spotlight artist for this month. I enjoy her, so I think you will. Matter of fact, I know you will enjoy her, so we're going to get into it. Today, I'm going to preview one of her songs, and then when I drop our interview, I will preview the other songs that she sent me, so you guys can get the whole variety of her and her music journey. And she's a really dope person, so you guys don't want to miss our interview dropping at the end of this month. All right, so anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let Alicia Davis take us out of here. And again, please go to the description below, check out all the links for this episode, as well as going to my website where you can check out all things Grown Up Podcasts, and you can sign up for the Grown Up email list, and you can get updates personally as far as everything new that's going on with Grown Up Podcasts monthly. And yeah, you guys just tap in with me, tap in with your boy. I appreciate y'all for sticking around. I love y'all. Make sure y'all staying safe and being kind out there. And Alicia Davis is going to take us out of here. Let's get it.
I just wanna talk, but I don't care at the same time. I'm so deep in my thoughts, I can think at the same time. But I got my voice, I'ma make some noise.
What's poppin', Grown Up family? You already know what the deal is. Go and check out Alicia Davis. Her links will be in the description below, where you can go straight away and click them and follow her, check out her music, all of that stuff. Follow me, check me out, follow K Davis the Hitman, check him out. And y'all already know Grown Up Podcast, we turning up all year and highlighting these artists. Make sure y'all stay tuned. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Alicia Davis, take us out of here.
I'm okay.